Oscar, the sheriff's
This
office
is an
said Melodee was
overview
last seen
of
alive
Melodee
October 9th near
Buzzard.
the Colorado-Utah border. According to authorities, Ashley Buzzard returned home to Lompoc on October 10th with a car that she and Melodee had rented on October 7th, but Melodee was not with her, the sheriff's office said. Authorities have claimed that Ashley Buzzard wore wigs and swapped license plates during the trip. Very premeditated, in my opinion. Okay, and they said Ashley Buzzard didn't cooperate with the search for Melodee. My goodness. Okay. So if anyone can see a live press conference, do tell, do tell. I can't see it yet. Hold on. I see one. Okay, something is going on here.
Never wavered. Their commitment did not
They remain
falter.
major developments in this case. Before I do that,
I also want to go over our list of speakers and kind of tell you who they are. We're going to have
Okay, we're live.
from Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown. You'll hear from Sheriff's Lieutenant Chris Gottschall, who leads the Criminal Investigation Division. And then you'll also hear from Special Agent in Charge Patrick Brandy from the Los Angeles Field Office.
Live press conference.
Immediately following remarks, we will have a brief Q&A session. I do want to emphasize that this investigation remains ongoing, and so there are going to be some pieces of information that we don't have available for release just yet. We did do a thorough job of trying to provide you with the most amount of information that we possibly could without compromising the investigation. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Sheriff Bill Brown.
well, thank you, and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here with us today. I am Santa Barbara County Sheriff Coroner Bill Brown, and today I am deeply saddened to report to you that the body of Melodee Buzzard, the 9-year-old child who went missing from the Lompoc area in October of this year, has been found in a rural area outside of Canesville in Wayne County, Utah. And that this morning at approximately 7:51 a.m., members of our Sheriff's Office and the FBI arrested her mother, Ashley Lynn Buzzard, for her murder. Maternal filicide is rare and always difficult to comprehend. But this level of criminal activity is particularly shocking,
Very.
given the calculated, cold-blooded, and criminally sophisticated premeditation and heartlessness that went into planning it, and the ruthlessness
I'll be right back,
that
y'all.
went
Hold
into
on.
actually
Get some
committing
more
the
light
crime.
in here.
We have recovered a significant amount of evidence that clearly indicates that this heinous crime was committed by Ashley Buzzard, Melodee's mother, and the very person upon whom she relied upon and trusted the most in this world. From the moment this case was reported, our detectives pursued every lead with determination, with urgency, and with compassion. Our investigators and those of our allied agencies worked simultaneously on multiple fronts, some maintaining around-the-clock surveillance of Ashley Buzzard, while others focused on the painstaking collection, analysis, and verification of physical, digital, and forensic evidence. That sustained effort was critical in bringing this case to where it stands today. Throughout this investigation, our detectives faced deliberate efforts to prevent them from finding Melodee and uncovering the truth. Despite those attempts, their focus never wavered. They remained disciplined, methodical, and relentless in their pursuit. Whenever obstacles were placed in their path, they overcame them. When their commitment did not falter, and their determination did not fade. They followed the facts wherever they led, and that ultimately is what brought clarity and resolution to this case. Now I'm going to go over a timeline of the major developments in this case. Before I do that, though, and before I walk through it, I want to thank, in particular, and we'll go into some further detail of our allied agencies that helped us, but two in particular that I want to recognize at the start of this, and that is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which has been with us throughout the investigation and has helped us not only in our regional area, but also out of state. And I particularly want to thank Sheriff Micah Gully and the members of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office in Wayne County, Utah, and every other agency that assisted us with their partnership, their professionalism, and for their commitment to this case. This level of coordination among jurisdictions was essential, it was superb, and we are grateful for the support provided at every stage. While this remains an active criminal case and certain details are still being investigated and cannot be disclosed at this time, I can share with you now a timeline outlining the major investigative milestones. October 14th, 2005. A school administrator reported Melodee's prolonged absence from school. Deputies responded to the family's residence in Lompoc, where her mother, Ashley Buzzard, was contacted. Melodee was not at the residence, and Ashley provided no verifiable explanation for Melodee's whereabouts. October 15th, 2025. Detectives served a search warrant at the Buzzard residence in the 500 block of Mars Avenue in the Lompoc area, looking for evidence pertaining to Melodee's whereabouts. Subsequent to the search warrant, it was determined that Ashley had recently rented a car, and video surveillance images were obtained showing Ashley and Melodee at the rental car office, both of them wearing wigs in an apparent attempt to conceal their identity.
What just
In an
happened?
attempt to obtain additional information about their whereabouts. On October 24th, 2025, detectives shared an updated timeline and travel route with the public of Melodee's last known movements along a multi-state round-trip travel route that included California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming, and Nebraska, with a return route including Kansas, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, and then back to California. Detectives learned that along this trip, Ashley switched the license plates on the vehicle she had rented to a New York plate.
Why?
And found out that she would back her vehicle into gas stations in an apparent attempt to avoid detection by their surveillance cameras. Melodee was last seen on video surveillance with Ashley on the Colorado side of the Colorado-Utah border on Thursday, October 9th, 2025. And detectives now believe that Melodee was murdered shortly after that stop. To follow-up search warrants at the home of Ashley Buzzard, as well as for a storage locker that she had rented, and upon the car that she had recently rented as well. During the search of the Mars Avenue residence, an expended cartridge case was recovered. During the search of the vehicle, a live round of similar ammunition was located. Detectives submitted the expended cartridge case to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives for inclusion in their national database called NIBIN, the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. December the 6th, 2025. Members of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office in Utah responded to a call from a man and a woman who were taking photos just off the 3300 block of East State Route 24 in a remote part of Wayne County, Utah. This couple had discovered the decomposed body of a deceased person off of the side adjacent to West Caneville Road. On December 8th, 2025, a member of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office notified the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office of the discovery of the unidentified found body. Although immediate identification of the deceased person was not possible, it was apparent that the decedent was a female who had died from gunshot wounds to the head. December 17th, 2025, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives examination of cartridge cases found at the Utah crime scene resulted in a NIBIN hit, linking them to the single cartridge case that was found at the Buzzard residence. On December 22nd, yesterday, the FBI Crime Lab notified our agency that DNA analysis had determined that the remains found in Utah were a familial DNA match to Ashley Buzzard. Today, December 23rd, 2025, members of the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office and the FBI served search and arrest warrants at the Mars Avenue residence and arrested Ashley Lynn Buzzard for the murder of Melodee Buzzard. Ashley was taken into custody without incident, and she was booked at the Northern Branch Jail for first-degree murder, where she is currently being held without bail.
Okay.
While these developments represent important steps towards holding Ashley Buzzard accountable for the murder of her daughter, they do not diminish the profound loss that we are acknowledging today. Because this case is now moving through the court system, there are limits on what additional detail we can share publicly at this time. At this point, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Chris Gottschall to recognize the personnel and agencies whose work in our region was instrumental in this investigation.
Thank you, Sheriff.
This is so hectic, oh my goodness.
This case required an extraordinary level of coordination and commitment amongst all agencies. I want to specifically recognize the detectives who tirelessly worked from the very beginning, including lead detective Joe Oliver, Detective Ruben Esparza, Detective Matt Maxwell, Detective Cliff Cabassid, Detective Thomas Brownlee, and Sergeant Jeff McDonald, along with numerous investigators, sheriff's deputies, professional staff, and support personnel who contributed countless hours to this effort. I'd also like to acknowledge our allied agencies whose cooperation and assistance were essential to advancing this investigation across multiple jurisdictions. A special thanks to our Santa Maria resident agency of the FBI, Supervisory Senior Resident Agent Mike Rusev, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the California Department of Justice, the Santa Barbara County District Attorney's Office, Santa Barbara County Child Welfare Services, the Lompoc Unified School District, and Santa Barbara County Search and Rescue. At this time, I would like to invite Special Agent in Charge Patrick Grandy, executive from the FBI Los Angeles Field Office, to speak about the FBI's key role in supporting this investigation. Sure.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Grandy. I'm Special Agent in Charge with the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office. Multiple states devoted resources to this investigation, and I can confidently speak on behalf of all FBI employees when I say that our collective hearts are broken as a result of this senseless outcome. The agents in our Santa Maria office, just north of here, worked tirelessly for the past couple of months with the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office, and this has no doubt affected them as well personally. We were all hoping to find Melodee alive, as you undoubtedly were as well. That said, the FBI will continue to provide resources to the County of Santa Barbara as they pursue justice for Melodee, whether that be laboratory services, running down leads in other states, or other investigative assets. As I mentioned, this investigation spanned multiple states. FBI field offices in Denver, Kansas City, Las Vegas, Omaha, Salt Lake City, San Diego, and San Francisco, as well as numerous other local partners provided resources. In particular, as the sheriff mentioned, the Wayne County Sheriff's Department in Utah and their medical examiner for their dedication to Melodee's remains once they were found. Thank you in advance for bearing with me, as I would like to recognize the following agencies that also played a significant role in this investigation. As the sheriff mentioned, it was quite extensive. From the state of Colorado, the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, Colorado Department of Transportation, Colorado State Police, Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Grand Junction, Colorado Police Department, Gunnison Police Department, Gunnison Sheriff's Office, Salida Police Department. From the state of Nebraska, the Nebraska State Police. From the state of Utah, the Paiute County Sheriff's Office, St. George Police Department, the Utah State Bureau of Investigation, and the Utah Department of Public Safety. Lastly, I'd like to recognize the media for reporting on this story continuously, and for members of the public who called in tips. We continue to urge anyone with information about Melodee's murder to contact law enforcement. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to the sheriff.
Great press conference with a good timeline. They told us a lot so far, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me just conclude by saying these remarks. The circumstances of Melodee Buzzard's murder are heartbreaking. All of us who have been involved in this case have been deeply affected by it. We were hoping against hope that she would be safely found. This outcome is deeply tragic, and on behalf of the entire Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office, I want to extend our deepest condolences to those who knew and loved Melodee. I want to take a moment to speak directly to the Meza and Buzzard families who have endured unimaginable pain throughout this ordeal. Their strength, their patience, and their steadfast hope have been evident from the very beginning. No family should ever have to experience this kind of loss, and our hearts are with them today and will be with them in the difficult days ahead. We stand with them, and we remain committed to securing justice for Melodee. I also want to thank the members of the media, both you here in our region and those out of state, for your continued coverage, including the conveyance of Melodee's image and the circumstances of her disappearance all across America. Your involvement played a meaningful role in advancing this investigation. To the members of our community who followed this case closely, thank you for your engagement, for your support, and for your willingness to come forward with information. The loss of a child is among the most profound tragedies any community can endure, and that loss is exacerbated when it is at the hand of someone else, and particularly at the hand of the one who should have loved them the most.
Exactly.
Today, we stand together in grief, but also with resolve. Melodee deserved a far better life than she had. We will honor her memory by ensuring that every step of this process is handled with care, compassion, and a steadfast commitment to justice. Our investigation does not end here. We will continue working closely with prosecutors and ensure that the judicial process moves forward with integrity. May God bless the innocent soul of Melodee Alani Buzzard, who we will never, ever forget. Thank you, and I'll now turn it back over to our PIO, Rock Felsen.
We have allotted some time if anybody has any follow-up questions. Again, reinforcing the fact that we do have an ongoing investigation, and while we're trying to balance transparency with seeking justice for Melodee, so we do have an opportunity to take just a few questions. Yes, Crystal.
Yeah, Raquel, I'm just curious, do we believe at this moment that Ashley acted alone? Or is there any potential leads that other suspects may be involved?
So the question is, do we believe that Ashley acted alone in this homicide? I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Gottschall. Please step to the mic.
Great sound
Thank
as
you
well
for
for
your
the
question.
questions.
Our investigation thus far has revealed that at this time, we don't believe that anyone else was involved.
Right here, yes.
Raquel, the sheriff mentioned the retrieval of cartridges. Is the murder weapon in evidence?
So the question is about the location of the murder weapon, if we have that in our evidence or in our possession at this time. I'll turn that over to Sheriff Brown.
Thank you. Yeah, the short answer is no. We do not have the murder weapon yet, but we continue to seek it.
I'll come back to you for your follow-up question in just a moment. Go ahead, yes?
Will this case be tried in Santa Barbara County or elsewhere?
Okay, so the question is where this trial will take place. I believe Sheriff Brown will have a response for that.
Yes, the plan is that this trial will take place here, since the intent was believed to have been formed here in our county prior to going on this road trip and committing the actual crime.
So we're going to have room for just a couple more questions. I'll volley back here. Yes?
And for any of you, I know early in the investigation, investigators had been out in those various areas along the road trip. Had that area in Wayne County been searched at all?
So the question is if investigators on their initial routes had been through that area of Wayne County. I believe you're asking if we'd specifically probably been to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
I'm going to refer to Lieutenant Gottschall for that.
Thank you for your question. We've been following a ton of leads, looking at a lot of different data and information. It is an expansive area of the United States that we were researching, and unfortunately we didn't have specific location information until recently.
Yes.
When can we expect a mugshot of Ashley to be released?
I'll have you privately on that. We'll proceed with that. We'll take one final question here, and then that'll be a wrap for us. Yes.
Is there a motive that you can share with us at all?
The question is to a motive. If we have one established, I'll have Sheriff Brown cover.
We have not established a motive at this point. We have obviously established that it is what's known as a filicide, the slaying of a child, in this case a maternal filicide. And there's been a lot of study and a lot of discussion about that and what motivates people to do that. But as far as an actual direct motive, we haven't established that yet.
A very quick follow-up. I know that Ashley, you had described her as uncooperative throughout the investigation. Can you describe her demeanor now? Has she spoken or confessed in any way? Can you talk about her demeanor now?
Yeah, I can tell you that as of this morning, no, there was no change in her attitude and her demeanor.
So uncooperative.
Uncooperative.
Thank you all very much for coming out and for being patient with us through this process, not just today, but throughout the entirety of the investigation. And again, we really do appreciate the media's coverage of this very important case. That's going to conclude our press conference for today. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay.
That was rather
And that
short.
was
That was short,
that. Okay, we're zooming in now.
surprisingly.
Right now, that there is no exact motive as to why Ashley may have murdered her daughter.
Okay, don't worry. We're going to do a recap here as well. I'm grateful to all of you who also emailed me the links and everything. Thank you so much. We caught that press conference live, watched it together, as we said we would. And my
Good
goodness,
thing
what a
we
timeline.
got
I
it.
would like to show you the map, to show you because they mentioned that a couple had been taking photos in this area of 33 East State Route 24 and they also mentioned West Caneville Road, okay? So, if we take that into account, I want to quickly just add this to my map and see what it looks like. Hold on one second. Interesting. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna bring up the map time now. Let's do some map time, shall we? Okay, and we are back. So remember when they showed us the following, this route that Ashley Buzzard is said to have taken with Melodee. My goodness, we have a whole playlist, of course, on this case. So if you missed out on any of the coverage, I'm going to go back and look at some of it too. You know why? Going to revisit some of those things. You know, even when
Damn, she went straight across the
Tyler was in Ashley's
Rockies.
house and the things that she told him. She said she dropped
That's a
Melodee off
long
for someone
damn
in
trip.
Utah. All of that. Looking at her demeanor in the courtroom when she was arrested for that false imprisonment charge, and then that was dropped. And then they said she's not a flight risk. Wow. And now here we are. She's facing a first-degree murder charge in California. So they said the case will be tried in California, just in case you guys missed that. So, on October 7th, right? On October 14th, it was when Melodee was reported missing. And then
Oh, she's from
it was
LA.
on October 9th when Melodee was last seen. So they left the home on October 7th of 2025 at this Mars Avenue residence, which is public record. They've just said in the press conference, and made this long trip, including Nebraska, and on the home trip, including Kansas as well.
Damn.
Now, one thing that I'd speculated before is just I wonder if she if Ashley told Melodee, we're going to go on this trip to Kansas because Melodee may have liked Wizard of Oz. I say that because there's
Kansas and Nebraska. Damn, that's a lot of damn driving.
pictures of her dressed on Halloween as Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. So it's like, shame. She may have lured her, like, we're going to go on this magical trip, okay? And we're going to go to Kansas. And then, whoa, on her way, and that's just speculation, on her way back, had gone back onto this kind of route through Colorado, Utah, all of that. Now, where was Melodee found? Where was her body found based on what they just said at the press conference? They said West Caneville Road, right? So if we go here, West Caneville Road in Utah, and we zoom in like this,
Looks
that's
like
where it is. They said,
desert.
look here, Utah State Route 24, so they mentioned
Looks
that.
like a desert.
And then this West Caneville Road is in here. So, I mean, my goodness, we're going to add points to this now. I just wanted to first show you the area. And there was a
And again, shout out to Grizzly True Crime for this.
couple that had been there taking pictures, and they discovered a body of someone, of course, deceased, and called it in and like, what the hell, we found this. And then shame, they were able to identify that that was Melodee's remains, 9 years old, and it's believed that Ashley Buzzard shot her. It's like execution style. You know what I mean? I say this because, like, it's a 9-year-old girl.
Damn.
Whoa, and this mother, wow, her
Sick
demeanor afterwards and everything. Interesting. Very, very calculated. Remember when she told Tyler Brewer that she knows how to order false license plates, like fake license plates? Well, clearly, because she had changed it to New York license plates. And remember they said that they last saw Melodee October 9th of 2025, and then shortly after that they believed that she was killed. So she was probably killed on that day. They also said it on their press conference in the background. They actually wrote down her birth date, February 10th of 2016 to October 9th of 2025. That's what they wrote. So that's the day they believe that she was killed. We've never seen the surveillance footage of her last seen alive on October 9th. The footage that we've seen is from October 7th when Ashley Buzzard rented a vehicle in California, right? By the way, thank you so much all for being here. Please do like and share so others can also know that we are live right now and covering this, right? So this is the area. I mean, that would mean she would have had to drive in here and go into this little loop, which is actually kind of a perfect little loop, my goodness. And then what? And then shot her daughter here? And the detectives are, of course she's innocent or proven guilty in a court of law. It's up to the jury, right? But the detectives said that they have physical digital and forensic evidence, and that it's clear. There's clear indications that Ashley Buzzard did this. Whoa, that was like, wow. She's 40 years old, by the way, Ashley Buzzard. Her family said she's always struggled with her mental health. And while that can be a factor, I just think this is very, very calculated.
There ain't no mental
And
health
now what would the
offense to
motive be?
this.
Well, we've asked ourselves that before. If this would be the worst case scenario, it could literally be money. She was living off Social Security benefits. She didn't have a job, and she also got benefits because Melodee's father died in 2016. She got benefits for that. She may have got benefits for all sorts of things, right? And I'm just saying, I think it could have been financial. It could have just been, you look too much like your dad, and I can't handle that I lost him. So, yeah, can't look at you anymore. You just never know. Molly the G said, thank God the couple stopped, right? And that they noticed while taking photos and all that, and called it in. They did the right thing. They saw something and said something. So this is the area. So now if I go, let's take our big map here, and we say West Caneville Road. Just want to put that in there. And we probably, yeah, look there, look there. Look where it is. Okay, so let's drag it up to here, I think it would be. Still out of the way, hey? Look at that. Let's drag it up one more. Just to make the route make sense. That's so weird. Okay. Well, that's where it is. This is the area where Melodee was found. Right? And I know that she had driven out. We don't know the exact route she took, right? It's just the map that the FBI showed us. That's where this is what it's based on, these points. So driving from Lompoc in California, and remember they'd mentioned that it's Rancho Cucamonga on the way back, Las Vegas, Panguitch, Utah is also what they mentioned here as well. So it's eastward of that, and in this area where Melodee's body was found. So if we go to, let's say from Grand Junction, this one, does this make sense? At all? Nope. She must have just gone, like from, let's say, Grand Junction, Colorado. She must have gone off the route at some point here. Right? Like through here, maybe. Wow. That's just so scary. That's why they would also say it's so premeditated. It's like quite a place to find. It's like going off the route and getting back on the route to get back home. And then there, in Utah, she had a New York license plate. And then when she got back to California, she magically had a California license plate again. They said that they believe or have surveillance or whatever of her backing her vehicle into gas stations and changing the license plate there. So that they shared with us as well. It's quite something, hey? Oh my goodness. So I'm just like, are you overwhelmed? I just feel like, oh my word, we just learned so much, and it's just not at all what I expected. Yes, I know that these cases can have devastating outcomes, but the cruelty of it, as they said it was so cruel. They used a whole bunch of words. The ruthlessness, the premeditated nature, the criminally sophisticated premeditation is what the sheriff said. The brutality, it's terrible. So they're still looking for the murder weapon, but you can hear that they've matched ballistics and all of that, found cartridges, and they've got evidence, but hopefully they'll find the murder weapon as well. There's also Ashley Buzzard renting a storage locker at some point too. Remember when they searched that? That's interesting. And now, wait, I'm just going to leave this on you so you can see it. Think about when Ashley Buzzard, when there were people outside of her home petitioning, where is Melodee? Where is Melodee? And what was she doing? She was tearing down those flyers. That makes sense now, huh? It's really scary, but it's like, whoa, that behavior was pretty out there. Taking down those missing persons flyers. Even cutting out her face, apparently. Melodee's face, like out of the pictures. What? Oh my goodness. So, okay. Now someone says, Molly, can I ask you if there's street view? Okay, well we can...
Some people don't deserve children.
We can look. Let's have a look. We go real close like this and let's see. Only from here. So this would be the area that she would have turned in there. Thank you for asking for street view. You let me drive. Stefan, tell them to buckle up. So she would have driven in there. Oh my word, it's just eerie given the circumstances we know now. You know? She would have driven in there somewhere. And I don't know if she dropped Melodee's body there or if she had shot her out there. So scary. So yeah, this would be the main road that she would have been driving on. I mean, just look at it. It's actually really beautiful, even though it's quite remote and all that. It's a really beautiful area. You know? Driving home, and think about it. This was October 9th, which means that Ashley Buzzard had already told her daughter, okay, you're going to put a wig on, right? And you're going to put the hoodie on and all that, and we're going to go, and we're going to, like, rent a vehicle. Okay, we're going on a trip. And remember how we said how she turns her back on her daughter while they're renting the car? It's like such weird body language, okay? How eerie to think that they drove. And it doesn't sound like they stopped to sleep anywhere or booked anywhere. They may have. We haven't heard such information. But given the distance traveled, I don't think there was any stopping, sleeping, or anything, okay? Meaning Melodee was with her on October 7th, on October 8th, on October 9th. And October 9th was the last time she was ever seen alive. So she would have been with her mother, driving her all the way to Nebraska, looping around to Kansas, driving all the way back and being like, now we're on our way home. We're just going to pull over here in Utah. And then the allegation is that she shot her. Dead. In Utah, where her body was found. That is so hectic. My goodness. Okay. So, I mean, imagine, I don't know if she had, like, did she have snacks? Did she have entertainment? Did she have anything where she just probably, like, side-eyeing her mother? Like, what are we doing? It's terrifying for Melodee. I can't imagine what she went through. So, to just look again, like, how long was this trip, right? If we go here. This trip is like, it's now 37 hours, okay? And obviously it includes this. I'm going to take this little point out for a moment here, just to give a good overview of the distance. Hello, stop it. Where's my map? Yeah, this. Do it, calculated, there we go. 25 hours. And that's one way. That's one way. They went all the way from here, driving, going, all the way to Nebraska, Kansas, back this way. So we could actually, here, we can add like Kansas. Okay, wait, Kansas. Kansas, USA. Do we add any more points? Add this. West
Okay,
Kansas
they went
Road.
through through the Rockies and the Ozarks.
Sure. And then back home. So let's go now to 500 Mars Avenue. That's a long ass drive. 53 hours. That's 3,329 miles. It's not exact, but it's like, you know, over 3,000 miles with a child. And she would have driven her with her 65-70% of the way. And then to return with that demeanor. That's why I'm going to watch all that again. I want to see those clips again. I want to see her in the courtroom again, all dollied up. With her cheeky attitude, you know what I mean? Oh my word. If only everybody knew what you allegedly did. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you here too long. I could go on and on, honestly. I could go on and on, but it's just, let's leave it at that. They gave us a really great breakdown. It was a very well-run press conference. On time, microphones, loud enough, everything great, good timeline, authentic emotion. I really liked it. It was very well done, and I'm grateful that they were able to share that with us, you know. Imagine if it was all just like a big secret. We'd be wondering, what the heck, man? But this was an update that is absolutely devastating. But I'm just so glad that we have this information, and yeah, I'm still going to have to process. Wait. So Melodee is not like, she's not missing anymore, because it's been so long, right, that we've been like sharing and looking for, you know, there's PIs involved that have been their boots on the ground, sharing flyers the whole time. I'm sure you guys have been wondering too, all the time, along the way, right? Where's Melodee? A child cannot just disappear. Will there ever be an answer? Oh, no, we have an answer, and it's terrible, right? Thank goodness to that couple that found her body. Okay, so Molly the G said that case is hard. That case is hard because I know the family. Which case? This case? Molly the G, which case? Yeah, Stefan said great press conference indeed. Well, everyone, I don't know about you, but I'm going to process all of this. I really appreciate you all being here with me as we watch that press conference live. And I really hope there'll be justice for Melodee, and shame on Ashley Buzzard. Oh my goodness. I don't even know I don't know. Premeditated from before they left already. That means they've got Google searches, right? You can hear it. Oh, what did you find? What did she Google? What did she plan? Did she plan the route? Why did she plan the route? And was that just to like throw everyone off? Like, I'm going to go so far they'll never even know. They're going to know. Okay, there's surveillance footage. There's digital forensics. Or your cell phone will say a lot of things. I don't care if you had a burner phone or not. There's gas stations. You got to stop at places. You're backing in all shady into the gas station. They're going to know. It just takes time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. It's pretty hard to say happy holidays now, but I do wish you a happy holidays. Tomorrow's, of course, the 24th. Please like, not because you like the topic. Liking is data-driven. It tells YouTube, show this to more people so they get the update here with us, right? So if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, and please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, on this very shocking update. Very devastating. I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much. Thank you, mods. And if you missed the earlier live stream, we had an earlier live stream too on another case. Go check it out.
Good night. Good night, y'all.